I'll just update you guys on the stuff. I watched some more Hackney gameplay. Um, Essentially the main goal is to hold that A spawn. A lot of times they'll rotate straight out the top, right out of the gate, and get rid of the C spawn and rush straight to A. Have like two people go offices, push out and try and take A to maintain the easier position on A. You're gonna see a very similar situation on this spawn that we'll go through. So as far as I'm concerned for Dom, especially when we're not playing CDL and we don't switch at the half, we need to push and take the opposite spawn that we want that has the better chance and easier defense. And then we'll work from that side forward. And we'll work on making sure that we're able to flip the spawn on command when we want it versus simply taking the lesser of two evils. Now, that's not to mean that every single time we get in, we'll be able to easily take the enemy spawn. That also means we can't spend a lot of time doing it. So when we get the disadvantageous spawn, we're probably going to have the two major slayers push up and try and rotate and flip that spawn, as everybody else pushes up slower to try and grab, to fight over that middle point. And then if we are able to steal the spawn, then get into the position that we want versus the position that we're being forced to take. We'll focus on having the optimal position first, and then hopefully, as we kind of continue to develop your more independent thinking, and making sure that you guys are able to find a place for you on the map, hopefully everybody else will be able to find a point where they feel like will be useful when we're on the more disadvantageous side. As we get more time in, we may be able to kind of figure it out a little bit. So those four positions I showed you last week for Hackney are still accurate. That seems like how everybody runs it. So as far as I'm concerned, we can just go through Gunrunner super quick, and I can show you once again, there's actually only 3 major points on Gunrunner that they had to hold that had to be there. The rest of them were more floaters, and we'll talk about that. So I'm totally fine doing just Gunrunner unless somebody needs a refresher for the Hackney stuff later.
Could we show the points, or at least like what you would think would be an ideal push into A if you're spawning C?
For this map or for Hackney?
For Hackney. We're doing Gunrunner?
Yeah, we're gonna do Gunrunner first.
Okay.
We can do like a quick Hackney roundup once we're done with Gunrunner, and then we'll touch up on some things that you guys had questions about on Hackney
Okay.
afterwards. So yeah, if everybody can go Codcaster again, and then Blues,
That's good.
Blues, you can just spawn us in whenever everybody's over on Codcaster. So once again, keep thinking about how each position, think of it more as like a concept than just oh, I look this way, this is my job, I'm done. We want you to think of it like a bigger job than just like looking at it through the aspect of, oh, I'm standing here, I'm looking at my position. We need you to think a little bit bigger than that. So I will get started on Gunrunner. So for this map, you actually want the C spawn, which for me is not necessarily the thing, given that I prefer the C spawn over the A spawn most of the time because of the line of sights. It's a little bit harder for B, but not for the reason that you'll think. So obviously we'll have somebody grab this. The first position here is up here. Playing this like left side, trying to keep them from coming out and pushing up. So where you need to have one person here to provide cover on this side, give callouts and everything else, because we're going to be pushed up really, really far compared to where some of you may be comfortable or may sit normally. So this is going to be one of the first locations. I know Viper plays this side a lot, Blues plays this side a lot because they have lane control unless we are struggling with B. The second core position is actually this wall. So checking here, coming over here sometimes. There's also this table. They can get even better head glitch. And basically your job is to just kind of play around in here. Try and keep these doors closed as much as possible, keep from getting shot from the elevator in case you miss somebody. But you're basically going to clean up anybody coming from the mid, and you're going to provide support to this left-hand side. So I see a lot of people abuse this little table and, take all these head glitches and everything else trying to hold on to it. Now, one of the most important positions and one of the ones that actually gets hit the hardest, and the last position that we're really concerned about is this one right here. I play this a lot. For any of you that watch the Gunrunner commentary, you saw me here a lot. From here, you're not going to flip the spawn. The spawn's always in the back. So when you're standing here, going like over here, laying down, whatever else, like I lay down a lot and listen for them coming up, and I'll pop up and take a couple of pop shots at them and stuff like that. So your whole responsibility is to try and keep them out of this area, and then maybe occasionally floating over here if you hear a lot of movement or you hear them coming, but you can really take care of that from here. Laying down and spraying them down, moving over if you need to, but then always making sure that once again you're keeping like a line of sight back here. Because once they get up here, and they can spray into the other areas, it's a lot harder to get them off and get back in this position. So we'll just go over the three positions once again really quickly. Of things that we really need to hold. Something over here, preferably up top if you can, because you get a better line of sight. You don't need to hang out there the whole time. You can listen and stuff like that. So that's position 1. Position 2 is right here. Or, kind of floating in between here, watching around. Now, this position does have a separate job, which is if they're really making a big B push, you can jump over this wall and come through here without worrying about the spawn and cleaning people up. Once again, if you watch the Gunrunner commentary, you would have seen me do that several times. I do that very regularly. And then this is the third position. Now, where can everybody else be? So let's assume that we have C and B. Another position I saw a lot of people in was like right here or like here. Kind of peeking out here every once in a while, making sure that this guy can stay where he's at, and you're watching this entrance. They also provide support. Say he's getting rushed, they can come over here, spray through the wall, come over here and support, from this cart, while still keeping an eye on everything else. This is pretty much his job here. So this is an auxiliary position. And then pretty much the last one, I saw some of them playing more support roles back here at C. So playing, kind of this spawn area, either back behind C, up in the window, or out on the planks. Basically that person's just a floater. They're able to do whatever they want, as long as they're able to, once again, maintain distance, and you're gonna want them to be kind of, play around in the middle area so they can offer support where necessary. Does anybody have any significant questions about those positions so far?
Jerome, break.
Yeah.
So with all the positions, you didn't really touch on the boiler room. Is there any reason for any of them to be checking the boiler room?
Only if the guy here dies. If this guy dies and he's getting pushed to boiler room, the person who's by that boiler room door, like not the one who's at the cart, but the one who's closer, who's watching the smokestack road, that guy would turn back and come in.
Okay.
The boiler room, if you're able to hold the positions I showed you, the boiler room will never become an issue, because the person on the far right would stop anybody from coming up from the center or coming from the flank, and the person who's in the mid should also catch anybody coming in. The thing that's nice about being up here on these containers is because you get a line of sight across all of his stuff too. So if he's getting lit up from half wall or something, just rolling back and providing a little cover. But just remember, every position should have somebody who's available for backup. So don't get sidetracked by if one person's getting killed, listen to the communication for other people looking. Because one mistake I noticed that we do a lot is, let's say that guy's getting lit up at position 2. If this guy from position 1 is looking over here trying to protect himself from anybody running up, not only does he not have line of sight, he probably can't hear it because he's shooting. A bunch of callouts are going out and he's shooting from here. Well, if that guy was going boiler room, say he came out of elevators, killed position 2 and pushed boiler, this guy is, not only is he looking over here trying to find him and not paying attention, this guy from this more auxiliary position is pushing back. So you have two people looking for one person.
Yeah.
And then you take the opportunity of them either making a mad push through smoke or making a mad push through woods. So just make sure, when somebody says, "Hey, this person's here," you can always sit there and say, "This is this position. I'm gonna watch it for us." And just, making sure that we don't have 2 or 3 people looking for one person who's not a threat to the bigger picture. That makes sense?
Yeah, I'm noticing a lot of these points are like diagonal in order to cut down on the exploits that they can have in your routes.
Exactly. When you think of it from this perspective, it's kind of hard to see, but it's especially hard to see in this game versus a game like Valorant or CS:GO. But if you look at the triangle, for visual,
Uh-huh.
you can see that for the most part, from this position, it's everything in this cone that you need to look for. This is your
Yeah.
main cone for this guy. This is your main cone. If we go towards the middle, you're basically trying to give yourself the biggest range without having anything more. And the nice part about this position is you can call out for coming up to Cole if he's getting lit up. You can, call out multiple people if he's laying down. You can call out people going to the left. Theoretically, nobody should be able to go to the left without you seeing them from here or from here. And
One
then this
last
guy
question.
can get the wide one. Yep.
Do you have any like gun suggestions for each point?
Typically what I saw the most was this was AR.
Yeah.
The middle possession kind of came up to your preference. I saw formal running it a lot. Formal a lot of times from what I saw for optic uh is primarily M4. However, he also runs an MP5 sometimes, so that kind of comes down to your preference if you feel like you can hold this. This last one up here, everything on this side of the map was all MP5s
Okay.
because of the short distance from here to here,
Yeah.
from here to here, and then the floater. The floater can kind of do whatever they feel is best. I actually saw an M13 in that position, like the fifth final guy who was back towards the spawn, to kind of try and give him a mix of both. But it was actually hard to find gameplay for this one. However, once again, once the points flipped, the halves flipped, everybody went from A and pushed straight to C and tried to maintain it. If you think about it from A side and you're going for a push and you're going for a flank, what I saw the most was people going up spool side. Anytime that they go for a flank, a lot of times you go from the opposite side of B because you're going to have a bunch of people zone controlling over there. So for these other halves, you typically have one person out here. So they all, so like 2 or 3 pushed up, killed this guy, and just ran straight through the spawn. And then they, lock down C, cap it, and just do a slow push forward.
Back
Once
to the
again, just be
zone.
careful because of the neutralization. A lot of times, if you when they have a bad spawn, if they spawn, you know, A B and they're having a hard time taking it, a lot of times they'll push 1 or 2 people to go neutralize the C point rather than take it, just to stop them from gaining points. And then after they die, they push up to B to try and take B, and then kind of play it out from there.
Word. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else have any major questions or anything?
Are you taking A before you try and flip it?
Yes. Typically, like they'll actually play the first 20 seconds or so, 20 or 30 seconds playing like normal. So like they'll grab A and they'll try and grab B, and then they will then turn around and start sending one or two people around the flank to try and grab the opposite side. I think what it really comes down to, it's kind of hard to say because it's not like we're playing pro teams, so it's not like we're necessarily going to have a hard time every time holding on to an A-B spawn. However, if we're talking about like what wins the most games and what the pros are using to fight against other equally skilled teams, they'll take A, they'll push B, they'll fight it out at B, and then they will then start the rotations trying to get back to C. If nothing else, to at least neutralize it. If they can take it, they'll take it. If they can get the spawn, they'll grab the spawn. With that in mind, one thing that people I think also make a big mistake of is on the first push. The first push is very dirty, even in pro. You know, it's not like you're going to go immediately go to your position. You only take up these zone control positions once you have the point. So like a lot of times there's a huge major like knockout drag out fight to grab the point with like 2 or 3 people on the point while other people are watching the alternative flanks, and then after that then they'll split out and take the position. So you really only take those positions once you've established control of the map, because otherwise what's the point, you know, because you have control of the map but you don't have control of the points, so you're going to lose anyway. So the first push is really, really serious, and then after that you start discussing whether or not you're going to flip the spawn or try and hold those positions.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Saturn break.
Yep.
Yeah, so on the primary spawns, I was looking at this. The primary spawns are where you're going to spawn unless one of them is compromised, right? You're always going to spawn on a green unless it's compromised.
Yes.
Someone's there or someone's looking into it. And then you will spawn secondary, and only if primary and secondary are both compromised would you go tertiary, or is it more?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it looks like there's about 8 on each side of the map.
Break straight.
Go ahead, straight.
Blues, I sent you something on Discord. Since you can't use a machine gun in COD League, that's a machine gun you can use. So if you got somebody that needs a good support role that usually follows that pretense, try that. Would post it in the squad Discord, but I don't have permissions to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we another thing that's worth mentioning when it comes down to the spawns, that's the basic idea. If the spawns are compromised, aka somebody's looking into them. However, remember, if you push up too far, even if you're not looking in the spawn, if you have too many people too far up, that will also flip the spawn. So like if we're all pressed up against like elevator wall and like up into coal and stuff like that, that can flip the spawn. So 1 or 2 people, those are okay. But like even if your body's up, that's a common mistake I see people make, especially once teams start like just smacking the shit out of the other team. When you're really laying into them, if you're pressed all the way up against their spawn, it will eventually flip them. Because if they die basically within a certain period, I'm assuming it's set up based upon death times. But like if they also meet a separate condition where they're dying over and over and over and over and over again in short succession, it will then move them. So like we need to
it's
be
just
equally
based
careful.
on saturation of the map. It's also based on if you've been getting slaughtered, they'll throw you a bone and give you a different.
Yeah,
spot.
there are a lot of different criteria. The main criteria is looking into the spawn. The secondary criteria is crowding the spawn, and the third criteria is the number of kills within a short period of time and deaths.
There you go. Which, if we follow these positions, shouldn't be a problem. However, if you see somebody who spawned out, that's why a lot of times I'll call out what I refer to and what I used to hear referred to as a split spawn. So sometimes if you're crowding the enemy spawn, especially something like on Piccadilly, where even if you're not looking up into the spawn, if you're crowding them too hard and they're dying too fast, you'll get a split spawn where, like you said, it'll throw like 2 or 3 people a bone and it will split the team in half. When it does that, you have people come up behind you, and then everybody's like, "Oh my God, they flanked!" No, they didn't flank. It was a split spawn. They spawned on the half their team spawned on the opposite side because it's trying to give them a chance to get out because clearly they can't. So that's something to at least look out for. If we follow these positional guidelines that we're talking about, it won't be a problem at all. You can sit there and call all day and not have an issue. Gunrunner is hard to flip the spawn unless you push down and stay in that A, that A well down in the bottom.
Okay. Street, Viper. Viper, you go first. Viper, you're a coalition.
Huh?
You are coalition, and you go first.
Oh, okay.
It's apparently a hard choice.
Can I go? Because I know who I want.
I said blues.
Yeah. Sixx.
Sixx.
I know
For
you wanted it for
allegiance.
Saturn.
Giddy up.
Bat Chief.
Jerome.
Rebel.
Who's left? What was it?
I think Heritage and Scorpion are left.
Scorpion. Can I hear you?
Yep.
Okay, I'll take Scorpion. Last time I couldn't hear you.
And we saved the best for last, so I get Heritage.
Yeah,
We going game
let's see.
chat?
Which one am I
We'll
going?
go game chat.
Allegiance.
Allegiance. Okay.
Yeah, let's go game.
Jerome, you there?
Yeah, sorry.
Coalition.
Heard.
Everybody go game chat.
Yeah. Okay, good. I can hear you here. I couldn't hear you before.
Oh.
When you were talking earlier, I couldn't hear you.
Alright, so with the points that were picked out, once we battle it out, get the C spawn. My thinking is Viper on container. Jerome, you're at mine.
Okay.
Scorpion, you're on that corner by mine.
Okay.
Actually, no. Put Saturn on the corner by mine. Put Scorpion on the half wall.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is the corner where Sixx was the third position he showed?
Yes,
Fourth, I think.
the fourth position.
The one over by the coal carts that looks down into their spawn and boiler rooms to your left.
Yep,
The one closer to boiler room, I think
Yep.
that's what he's talking about.
close.
Oh,
the one
that
closer.
kind
To,
of
Third
close by
position?
the ramp.
Yeah.
yeah, by the
Okay,
ramp.
gotcha.
That way you're closer to the
Oh,
flag to hold the flag too. Jerome, you're on coal because of some gun skill there. Scorpion, you're on half wall because of your ability to see. And then I'll float. That sound good?
Good.
Yep. Me.
I think
Sounds
that
good.
kind of plays to everybody's abilities.
What are we gonna do? Is it start just let one person take whichever one we land on, and then the other four just rush B?
Yep. Darn right.
Watch out, Six's flank.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he always does. Ready?
Let me turn my sensitivity
Yeah,
up real
ready?
quick with these. Oh, I can do that in game, can't I?
Yep. Let's get to it.
Okay.
That's not in game. Oh, he figured it out.
It's going to be a little bit of different roll for me with the M13, but I'll try it. So we've got the C spawn, so now we're going to have to lock after we get B, but it's going to be a fight for B.
Who's gonna snag C?
I'll snag C, you all go.
I'm gonna go through containers.
Yeah, you take your position, Viper.
To be. Ooh, they're on spool in woods. There's two in
Squid's coming
woods.
through bathroom to see.
One down B. I'm capping it. Could definitely use some backup for speed if one of them is floating nearby.
I'm on my way. Oh, water to sea.
Got water.
What is it? The
I
train?
got
Top
alright, I got B.
containers. There's one on tracks.
Good.
The one top containers.
Six is ramp. Now he's going back behind you.
6 is down.
Hold
Or,
on.
or I'm down from 6.
All right, let's push up, get your positions.
Oh, Allie.
Street is laying down on B.
They've got B.
Heritage is at half wall and somebody's laying
One
down
behind
at
containers.
the containers.
One at trains. Dude. Back there.
He's mid. Wow, he's being
We need
aggressive.
to make a stronger push. We
Gotta
can't be
group
going
up.
One by one.
Yeah, they're trying to get the spawn.
Did we get the guy that was at C?
No, he's still in
It appears
containers.
so.
Concerted push
Containers
to
is
B.
down.
C's clear. Alright, I'm gonna smoke C and I'm gonna go roll in on it. Or B, excuse me.
Ugh. They got a bunch heading from Cole.
They've identified me on half wall.
I
Six
cannot
killed me
get
on half wall. He's
established
going through
at Cole.
boiler.
Alright, B,
One at
secure.
half
I'm gonna
wall.
close this door.
I got half wall.
Boiler room, 6 is boiler going to B.
6 got me, he's on B. He's clearing it.
Oh my god.
I got 6 on
There's
me.
C.
I'm on B.
Heritage is at half wall. There's one at wood.
B is secure.
6 is bathroom. Dude,
I got 1
swear
containers.
6 is just reading.
2
my mind.
containers.
Six is still in. He's going office.
Got to get the container side.
My way.
Rebel is containers right outside the bathroom.
I'm down containers.
Down B. 6 is on B.
That is such fuck. That's fucked up. It doesn't make any sense. You can shoot through this metal wall right here between B and the train tracks. There's a metal door. Six is still running around the carts. He's just
Go ahead.
I can't recognize any sort of pattern or rhyme or reason
Watch
of what
elevator.
Sixx is doing, so I can't really predict.
Everywhere
wall?
I am.
Yeah.
Half wall's down.
It seems like he's going
Sorry about
controls,
that.
boiler, and carts, and just kind of rotating.
Yep. Streets on B.
Sixx is clearing points for weaker gun skilled people. He'll clear half wall for me, and then Heritage will take his place, and then he'll go
Sixx is
someplace
at
else.
carts.
Blue's on
One
B.
boiler.
Pipe's got me.
I'm down on B. I'm coming to containers. Watch containers.
Sixx is vent, going into control.
Half down. Woods.
Woods is down.
Coming up beside elevator. Woods
Streets
side.
all over B. He's behind that bill.
Yeah, that's the only fucking place Street goes. Like literally every time I play this map, he'll go back there. I got to remember that.
Oh my god, one control room.
And
Nice try,
Get that wall cover.
But it is much harder from that fucking side.
Well, that's one thing that's going to make it difficult for us to practice. Yeah.
What's that? What's that?
Everybody knows what we're trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm waiting until we get into the game only. The skill variance is so drastic, top to bottom on this team, that it makes it very difficult to
It's basically what he's saying is
accomplish
it's
as
easy.
quickly as what we would hope. Yeah.
It's easy for Sixx to run around, kill everybody at point, and then
I'm on B.
like I was saying,
Oops,
Sixx
sorry,
was
sorry,
killing
sorry.
me at half wall, and then
Yeah.
Heritage was taking his place, and he would go to C, kill that person. He was basically just using his gun skill to put everybody else in place, and that makes it hard for us to do what we need to do.
Right, but also on the bottom end too, it's difficult.
Sixx is coming in from office to B.
All right, I'm at B. We can discuss more.
Split spawn. I spawned spool.
Alpha, alpha, alpha.
Again, Sixx comes to a broiler behind us at half wall.
Whoa.
Grenade on C, watch it.
No.
We got the spawn.
Painters.
Alright. Now let's see if we can get to our positions.
I spawned by B. Pushing up to Cole
One
until
half
Jerome
wall.
gets here.
One elevator. Coming to B now. Cole.
My bad.
Ow.
Green room.
Alright, I'm at Cole.
One in
Sixx
elevator.
is coming up, Cole. Sixx is Cole.
I got elevator.
On
Finally.
control.
When you get back here, Saturn, let me
B.
know and I can rotate.
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright, I'm out.
I'm flashed at the half wall. I'm down half wall. I need a rotation.
Down Cole.
I'm here. Got one. One's going elevator.
Spawned water tower.
Sixx is containers.
I'm heading that way.
To the bathroom. I got him a few times.
Alright, I'm
I just
spawned.
killed
Rebels
Street
have
right
one.
over here, Jerome. So he may be spawning back. And there he was.
Yeah, I got 3 pushing C right now.
Down Cole.
Oh, that was one hell of a grenade. Rebels on B coming out of boiler.
Alright, we need to clear it up and then get the position.
Somebody keep an eye on Cole. If you can.
I'm
Nobody
pushing
up
up the
there.
containers again.
I'm coming through mid.
Okay. Rebel is still laying down right on the floor in front of the boiler. He's not trying to cap it. Oh man, You walked right behind me, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's what cost you. All right, I'm gonna kill this guy with a grenade right here. Ay, ay. All right, I'm smoking left. Damn, I got it. One's tracks. He's pushing hard tracks. On the far north side too.
Got one at A flag. I'm down. He's pushing half wall. Need a rotation.
I got half wall down, but I was also killed.
One more at half wall. I think he went elevator.
He did go elevator.
He's good.
I'm down half wall. Still need a rotation cover.
There's still.
Are we good? Is C solid? We got 3 guys
He's
over
good
here.
right now.
Okay.
My container. Unless they went through bathroom and I didn't see it.
We pushed too far.
I'm going back. I'm going back.
That was a team too
Tracks.
much push.
Cart. Somebody threw a grenade from north tracks.
We need somebody half wall.
One at tracks, rebels at tracks, right by C.
Bad's in the elevator.
Got bat.
1, 2 at cart, 1 down.
Just hold B. As long as we don't lose them all, we're all right.
Taking C.
There's still one more here.
I got one going woods.
6 is coal carts.
Second one going woods.
Good work, guys.
Nice job, gentlemen.
Look at the total. Look at everybody's scores, Blue.